Corn, also known as maize, is a staple crop with a rich history and a wide range of culinary uses. From selecting the right location to harvesting your corn ears, we'll guide you through each step of the process to ensure a bountiful harvest. So, let's get started and learn how to plant corn like a pro. Before diving into the planting process, it's crucial to understand the basics of corn. Corn, scientifically known as Zea maize, is a warm season annual crop belonging to the grass family Poaceae. It's native to the Americas and has been cultivated for thousands of years by indigenous peoples. Corn plants typically consist of a single tall stalk with long, narrow leaves arranged alternately along the stem. At the top of the plant, you'll find the tassel, which produces pollen, and at the base, the ear, where kernels develop. Corn is a monoecious plant, meaning it has both male and female reproductive organs on the same plant. The tassel functions as the male flower, producing pollen that is carried by wind to the silk, the female flower, located on the ear. Each silk strand connects to a potential kernel, and successful pollination leads to kernel development. There are various types of corn, including sweet corn, dent corn, flint corn, and popcorn, each with its unique characteristics and uses. Sweet corn is commonly grown for its tender, sweet kernels, while dent corn is used primarily for livestock feed and processing. Understanding the type of corn you're planting will inform your planting and harvesting techniques. Ensure that the soil is well draining and fertile. Corn requires soil with good drainage to prevent waterlogging, which can lead to root rot and other problems. Sandy loam or loamy soils are ideal for corn cultivation, as they provide good drainage while retaining moisture and nutrients. Test the soil pH before planting and aim for a pH level between 6.0 and 6.8, which is optimal for corn growth. If necessary, amend the soil with lime to raise the pH or sulfur to lower it, following soil test recommendations. Consider wind exposure when selecting a planting site, as strong winds can damage corn plants, especially tall varieties. Planting corn near windbreaks, such as trees or shrubs, can help protect the plants from wind damage. Corn plants should be spaced about 8 to 12 inches apart, in rows that are spaced 30 to 36 inches apart. This spacing allows the plants to receive adequate sunlight and airflow, promoting healthy growth and development. Before planting corn, it's essential to prepare the soil to provide the best growing conditions for the plants. Start by clearing the planting area of any weeds, rocks, or debris that could interfere with the plant growth or cultivation. Next, loosen the soil to a depth of at least 6 to 8 inches using a garden fork, tiller, or shovel. This helps improve soil aeration and root penetration, allowing the corn plants to establish themselves more easily. Incorporate organic matter, such as compost or aged manure, into the soil to improve its structure and fertility. Organic matter helps retain moisture, provides essential nutrients, and promotes beneficial microbial activity in the soil, all of which are crucial for healthy corn growth. Consider performing a soil test to assess nutrient levels and pH before planting. Based on the soil test results, amend the soil as needed with additional nutrients or pH adjustments to ensure optimal growing conditions for corn. Lastly, create raised beds or mounded rows if drainage is a concern in your planting area. Raised beds improve soil drainage and warm up more quickly in the spring, which can benefit corn plants, especially in cooler climates. When it comes to planting corn, timing is crucial for success. Wait until the soil temperature reaches at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15.5 degrees Celsius before planting, as corn seeds germinate best in warm soil conditions. Plant corn seeds directly into the prepared soil at a depth of about 1 to 2 inches, 2.5 to 5 centimeters, spacing them approximately 8 to 12 inches, 20 to 30 centimeters, apart within rows. Leave about 30 to 36 inches, 76 to 91 centimeters, between rows to allow for adequate spacing and room for plant growth. For optimal pollination and ear development, plant corn in blocks or clusters rather than single rows. This helps ensure that the corn plants are close enough together to facilitate pollination by the wind, which is essential for proper kernel formation. Consider using a planting guide or marker to ensure consistent spacing between seeds and rows. This helps promote uniform plant growth and makes cultivation and harvesting easier later on. Once the seeds are planted, cover them with soil and gently firm the soil surface to ensure good seed-to-soil contact. Water the newly planted seeds thoroughly to help initiate germination and provide moisture for seedling growth. Monitor the soil moisture levels regularly after planting, especially during dry periods, and water as needed to keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged. Adequate moisture is essential for germination and early seedling development. Depending on the variety and environmental conditions, corn seeds typically germinate within 7 to 10 days after planting. Keep an eye on the emerging seedlings and provide proper care to support their growth and development during the early stages. Incorporate organic matter such as compost or well-rotted manure into the soil to improve its structure, fertility, and water retention capabilities. This helps create a nutrient-rich environment that supports healthy corn growth and development throughout the growing season. Corn is a warm season crop that requires plenty of sunlight to grow and produce abundant yields. Plant corn in a location that receives full sun for at least 6 to 8 hours per day to ensure optimal growth and development. Avoid planting corn in low-lying areas or areas prone to waterlogging, as excess moisture can lead to poor root development and increased susceptibility to diseases such as root rot and damping off. In regions with hot summers, providing some afternoon shade can help prevent stress and heat-related damage to the corn plants. However, ensure that the shade does not obstruct too much sunlight, as adequate light is essential for photosynthesis and overall plant health. Monitor environmental conditions regularly throughout the growing season and take appropriate measures to protect the corn plants from extreme weather events such as strong winds, heavy rains, or drought. Providing adequate irrigation during dry periods and protecting young seedlings from harsh weather conditions can help ensure successful corn production. When planting corn, it's important to follow proper spacing guidelines to maximize yields and ensure optimal plant growth. Space corn rows approximately 30 to 36 inches apart to allow for adequate air circulation and room for the plants to develop fully. Within each row, plant corn seeds or seedlings approximately 8 to 12 inches apart. Planting too close together can result in overcrowding, competition for nutrients, and reduced yields. For optimal pollination and ear development, plant corn in blocks or multiple rows rather than single rows. Plant corn seeds at a depth of 1 to 1.5 inches in well-prepared soil. Planting too shallow can result in poor germination, while planting too deep may delay emergence or lead to uneven seedling emergence. When planting corn seeds, consider using a planting technique called hill planting, where several seeds are planted together in small mounds or hills. This method helps improve soil drainage, provides additional support for the plants, and facilitates weed control. To plant corn seedlings or transplants, dig individual planting holes that are slightly larger than the root ball of the seedling. Place the seedling in the hole, ensuring that the top of the root ball is level with the soil surface. Backfill the hole with soil and gently firm it around the base of the seedling to provide good soil-to-root contact. After planting, water the corn seeds or seedlings thoroughly to settle the soil and provide moisture to the roots. Maintain consistent soil moisture throughout the germination and seedling establishment phase to promote healthy root development and vigorous growth. Consider using a starter fertilizer or liquid fertilizer solution at planting to provide an extra boost of nutrients to the young corn plants. This helps support early growth and development, especially in soils with low fertility or nutrient deficiencies. Mulching around the base of the corn plants can help conserve soil moisture, suppress weed growth, and maintain even soil temperatures. Apply a layer of organic mulch, such as straw or shredded leaves, to a depth of 2 to 3 inches, being careful not to mound it up against the stems of the plants. As the corn plants grow, monitor them regularly for signs of nutrient deficiencies, pests, or diseases. Take prompt action to address any issues that arise, such as applying fertilizer, implementing pest control measures, or treating for diseases, to ensure healthy plant growth and maximum yields. Corn plants have specific care requirements to ensure healthy growth and high yields. One essential aspect of corn care is providing adequate water throughout the growing season. Corn plants have moderate to high water needs, especially during the critical stages of pollination and ear development. Aim to keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged, as excessive moisture can lead to root rot and other issues. In addition to watering, corn plants benefit from regular fertilization to support their vigorous growth and development. Apply a balanced fertilizer with equal parts nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium according to the specific needs of your soil and the growth stage of the corn plants. Side dress the fertilizer along the rows or apply it as a liquid solution, following the recommended rates and timing for optimal results. Weed control is another important aspect of corn maintenance, as weeds compete with corn plants for water, nutrients, and sunlight. Use a combination of cultivation, hand weeding, and mulching to suppress weed growth and keep the corn rows free from competing vegetation. Consider using pre-emergent herbicides or post-emergent herbicides labeled for use in cornfields to control weeds effectively. As corn plants grow taller, they may require additional support to prevent lodging or bending under the weight of the ears. Install support structures such as stakes or trellises along the rows to provide stability and prevent damage to the plants. Be sure to tie the corn plants loosely to the support structures using soft ties or twine to avoid damaging the stems. Monitor the corn plants regularly for signs of pests and diseases such as corn borers, corn earworms, and fungal infections. Implement integrated pest management strategies such as crop rotation, pest-resistant varieties, and biological control agents to minimize pest damage and reduce the need for chemical pesticides. Proper crop rotation is essential for maintaining soil health and reducing the risk of pest and disease problems in cornfields. Rotate corn with other crops such as legumes, small grains, or cover crops to break pest and disease cycles, improve soil fertility, and prevent nutrient depletion. Finally, harvest corn at the appropriate stage of maturity to ensure optimal flavor, texture, and sweetness. Monitor the development of the ears by checking for signs of full kernel development and mature husks. Harvest corn when the kernels are plump and juicy and the husks are green and tightly wrapped around the ears. Avoid harvesting corn too early or too late, as this can result in poor flavor and texture. Harvesting corn at the right time is crucial to ensure optimal flavor and sweetness. Corn is typically ready for harvest when the kernels are fully developed and plump, and the husks are still green and tightly wrapped around the ears. To test for maturity, peel back a small section of the husk and press your thumbnail into a kernel. If the liquid inside is milky and opaque, the corn is ready to harvest. Avoid harvesting corn too early, as the kernels may be underdeveloped and lack sweetness. When harvesting corn, grasp the ear firmly and pull it downward, twisting slightly to detach it from the stalk. Avoid pulling too hard, as this can damage the stalk or break off the ear prematurely. Harvest each ear individually, working your way down the row, and place them in a basket or crate to prevent damage. By following the steps outlined in this video, from selecting the right varieties and planting techniques to providing proper care and maintenance throughout the growing season, you can enjoy a bountiful harvest of sweet, flavorful corn. Remember to provide adequate water, sunlight, and nutrients, and be vigilant for pests and diseases that may affect your plants. With a little effort and attention, you can grow delicious corn that will delight your taste buds and enhance your meals. Happy gardening!